Hey guys, this is Miss Jones. Today we're going to talk about radical inequalities. Solving radical inequalities is very much like solving the radical equations that we've worked on and like the other inequalities we've studied so far. The only difference is with a radical inequality, if you have a square root, there are some restrictions on what can be under the radical. Remember, we can't have a negative under a square root because that would give us a non-real answer, an imaginary answer, and we're only dealing with real solutions in this situation. So I'm going to go through these examples with you. Feel free to pause. I'll try to go slowly. I'm learning to write with the stylus on my computer, so bear with me if it doesn't look great. I'm trying. We're going to solve the first example. The square root of 3x plus 3 is less than or equal to 6. So the first thing you want to do is take your radicand, that's the radicand, set it equal to 0. So we're going to do 3x plus 3 is equal to 0 and solve. And so we'll subtract 3 and divide by 3, so you get x equals -1. So I know that -1 is going to be one of my numbers on my number line, and that should be a closed circle because x can be -1, but we already know it can't be less than -1 because that would give you a negative under the radical. So I'm going to go ahead and x out that part of the number line. You don't even have to test that. The second part is to turn your inequality into an equation and then solve it. That'll give you the other circles to put on your number line. So you're going to do the square root of 3x plus 3 and just make it equal 6. So now we talked about how to solve equations like that on Friday. You're just going to square both sides. You know the square cancels out the square root, so that'll give you 3x plus 3 on the left. And then 6 squared is 36. When you solve that equation, you'll subtract 3 and divide by 3. You'll get x equals 11. So we're going to come over here. I'm not going to really count. I guess I should. Okay, here's 11. And because it was in less than or equal to, that's a closed circle as well. So now we're going to test some values. Well, something easy to test between -11 and 1 is 0. If I plug in 0 into the inequality, I get the square root of 3 times 0 plus 3 is less than or equal to 6. Well, that's the square root of 3 is less than or equal to 6. So that's true. Sorry. So that's true. We're going to shade in that part of our number line. If I plug in a number greater than 11, like 12, that's going to give me the square root of 3 times 12 plus 3 is less than or equal to 6. Well, 3 times 12 plus 3 is 39. And the square root of 39 cannot be less than or equal to 6 because that would be the square root of 36. So that's false. So our solution is from -1 to 11, including those points. So my solution is going to be bracket -1, comma 11. And that's the solution. So that's our first example. Let's move on to the next example. We're going to do this one, which is the square root of -2 square root of x plus 1 is less than -8. On this one, you'll notice that the radical is not isolated. We've got to get the radical isolated when we turn it into an equation. The first part is no different than the last example. You're going to take your radicand x plus 1 and set it equal to 0. You get x equals -1. So again, we know x can't be anything less than -1 because that would give us a negative under the radical. So that's going to be a closed circle because it could equal -1. That's okay, but nothing less. So we don't even have to consider that part of the number line. When we make it into an equation, we're going to make it equal to instead of less than. So we're going to divide both sides by -2 first. Remember, we have to divide. You're going to get the square root of x plus 1 equals 4. Sorry, my plus sign isn't very good. And then you're going to square both sides. So you're going to square both sides. You get x plus 1 equals 16. And then subtract 1 on both sides. Sorry, my stylus is acting funny. So you get x equals 15. Again, we're going to plot that on the number line. We'll just put it over here. That should be an open circle because it's really less than, not or equal to. So now we can pick some values to test. Again, 0 would probably be a good thing to test. We'll test 0 and maybe 16. So we're going to come over here. We're going to test 0. So I'm going to come to the side. We're going to do -2 equals 0 plus 1 under the radical is less than -8. So we're going to have -2 times the square root of 1 is -2. Well, -2 is not less than -8 because -8 is less than -2. So that's going to be false, right? 0 does not work, so that would be false. Don't shade that part of the number line. And then when I plug in 16, let me scroll down just a little bit. When I plug in 16, I'll have -2 times the square root of 16 plus 1 is less than -8. So that's going to be -2 times the square root of 17 is less than -8. Well, I know that -2 times the square root of 17 is going to be -2 times something a little bit bigger than 4, so that would be less than -8. So that checks. So I know I'm going to shade off to the right, and that's just going to be greater than 15. You don't care about -1 because if nothing to the left of 15 works anyway, then -1 doesn't matter. So you're going to do 15 to positive infinity, and that would be how you write your answer in interval notation. Hopefully I'm writing well enough for you to understand. I'll get better as we go through, I promise. Next example, you're going to do the square root of 2x plus 1 is greater than or equal to -4. This time when we square both sides, it'll get rid of the negative, but first again, you go to your radicand, set 2x plus 1 equal to 0. You're going to get x equals -1/2. So again, we'll put that over here on the number line, maybe over here kind of on the left. Then when you turn it into an equation, you're going to square both sides. Again, squaring gets rid of the radical. You're going to have 2x plus 1 equals -4 squared, doesn't like my 2, is 16. And then you're going to solve for x, so you'll get 15/2. So 15/2 would be like +7.5. So we'll just put that over here. My little record button's in the way. So now you're going to have a closed circle here and a closed circle here. And then let's test some values. We already knew that you can't be less than -1/2. That would give you a negative under the radical. Let's plug in 0. 0 is always a good thing to test. So you have the square root of 2 times 0 plus 1 is greater than or equal to -4. When I do the square root of 2 times 0 plus 1, that's just the square root of 1, which is 1. Well, 1 is greater than -4, so that's true. So I'm going to shade that. And then if I shade something greater than 15/2, like 8, 8 is going to work as well, because if I plug in 8, that's going to give me the square root of 2 times 8 plus 1 is greater than or equal to -4. And that's going to be the square root of 17, which is definitely greater than or equal to -4. So that works as well. What we have here is kind of an interesting thing because your number line continues through your closed circle. So we know that any value greater than or equal to -1/2 would work in that inequality. So you're going to say the square root, or sorry, the closed circle, that's your bracket, -1/2 to positive infinity. Again, I'll get the hang of this stylus soon. So we've seen some examples. Let's move on to the next one. This one, you're going to need to isolate your variable, your radical, before you solve. But again, we always start with the radicand. It's like starting with the denominator in the rationals. Remember, those couldn't equal 0. This time x minus 2 equals 0, so you're going to say x equals 2. So you know that 2 is going to be one of your circles. You'll put a closed circle at 2, and I know that anything less than 2 is not going to check, because anything less than 2 would give me a negative under the radical. So you don't even have to check that part of the number line. It's not going to work. Then we're going to turn it into an equation. 9 equals 5 plus the square root of x minus 2. You have to isolate your variable, so subtract 5 over first. You get 4 equals the square root of x minus 2. You need to square both sides to isolate the variable. Get rid of that radical. So you get 16 equals x minus 2. Add 2 to both sides, and you get 18. So 18 is our other circle. Again, that one will be closed as well. And then let's pick something easy to test between 2 and 18, like 3. So we're going to plug in 3. I'll come over to the side. 9 is greater than or equal to 5 plus the square root of 3 minus 2. So that means 9 is greater than or equal to 5 plus the square root of 1, which is 6. And 9 is greater than or equal to 6, so that's true. So we're going to shade between. I know that's going to work. And let's try something beyond 18, like 19. So we'll try 19. We're going to do 9 is greater than or equal to 5 plus the square root of 19 minus 2. Well, 19 minus 2 is, what, 17? And I know the square root of 17 is something slightly greater than 4. So 5 plus something slightly greater than 4 would be greater than 9. So that does not check. So 19 does not check. And our solution is going to be 2 to positive 18. One more example. Let's try this one. It's a cube root. So again, in a cube root, anything can be, the radical can be anything positive or negative. So in a cube root, you don't have to worry about a restriction under the radical, because remember, cube roots can be negative. It can be a positive or a negative. So this time we don't have to set the radicand equal to 0. You're just going to turn this into an equation and solve, and then test your points. So you've got the cube root of 4x minus 1 equals 3. We're going to cube both sides, because that's what undoes the cube root. You're going to take the cube root, and the cube are going to cancel out. You get 4x minus 1 equals 27. That's 3 cubed. So you're going to add 1 and divide by 4. So x would equal 8. No, 7, sorry. And then you're going to plot that on your number line. It's going to be a closed circle. And then we'll test a point on either side of 7. Sorry, not 8. I know that. You're going to test 0, and let's test 8. When I plug in 0, you're going to get the cube root of 4 times 0 minus 1 is less than or equal to 3. So this gives you the cube root of negative 1. Well, that does exist, because I can have negative 1 to the third power, and that gives me negative 1. So is negative 1 less than or equal to 3? Yes. So you're going to shade to the left. When you plug in 8, you're going to get something that is not less than or equal to 3. But let's do it anyway. Let's do the cube root of 4 times 8 minus 1 is less than or equal to 3. That's going to be the cube root of 32 minus 1, which is 31. And I know that that would be greater than 3, because the cube root of 27 is 3. So that's not true. So here's the way this one answer is going to look. You're going to have negative infinity to positive 7. Close bracket there. So these are your examples for solving inequalities. Try worksheet number 3. There's some problems there that have solving inequalities. I'll post the answers tomorrow. I'll be available for questions. I posted the answers to worksheet number 2, the solving equations. If you have any questions, I'll be online from 10:30 to 12, and I'm going to be online later from 3 to 4, just in case, since this is our first day of digital learning. I hope everyone's staying healthy, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.